Hey, Mr. Miah here from R Squared Tuition, and welcome to this tutorial where we are going to be going over the basics of algebraic fractions. What I want you to do is consider these two fractions being added here. So I've got a quarter plus 2 quarters, and I've also got a sixth plus 2 sevenths. Which of these can we add as they are? Well, the answer is the first one. Why? Because the denominators are the same. Now, we can apply that exact same logic to algebraic fractions. We can only add fractions if the denominators are the same. So if we look at 3x over 5 and adding x over 2, we have to make sure that the denominators are the same. The way we can do that is just look for the lowest common multiple, which in this case will be 10. How do I make the 5 into 10? Well, I times it by 2. Now, whatever I do to the denominator, I must do to the numerator. Likewise, on the other side, I need to times the denominator by 5, so I must do that to the numerator as well. So, the first fraction here is just going to be 3x times by 2, 6x, over 5 times by 2, which is 10. And the second fraction is x times 5, which is 5x, over 2 times 5, which is 10. Now that the denominators are the same, I can combine the fractions and add them together. So I've got 6x plus 5x over 10. This can be tidied up into 11x over 10. And at this point, this is my final answer. However, I would want to double check if any of the terms can be simplified any further. 11 and 10 do not have a common factor, so we can just stop there. On to the next question. Question here where we have algebra in the denominators, but we have to remember the golden rule of addition or subtraction of fractions, and that is make sure that the denominators are the same. So what we're trying to do is find a common multiple between AC and 3. The easiest way is just to multiply them together. So I'm going to multiply AC by 3. I've got to do the same to the numerator, and I'm going to multiply 3 by AC, and I have to do the same to the numerator there. Now I can just work this out individually. So I do 6 times 3, which is 18. AC times 3 is 3AC. Just make sure your numbers go before your letters and your letters are in alphabetical order. And then I'm going to add the second fraction, which is 2 times AC, which is 2AC, over 3 times AC, which is 3AC. Now that the denominators are the same, I can add them. So I've got 18 plus 2AC in the numerators, and the denominator just becomes 3AC. And I can stop there. Moving on to question B. I've got 2 over FG minus 4 over G. I am just going to make the denominators the same again, and I can try to multiply them. But if you notice, both of them have already got a G in the denominator. So the fraction on the right hand side, the 4 over g, just needs to be multiplied by f in order to get fg as the denominator. Whatever I do to the denominator must be done to the numerator, and now I can work with this. So the 2 over fg remains, and I'm going to subtract 4f because I've got 4 times f, and I'm going to have a denominator of g times f, which is fg. Careful to make sure that that is in alphabetical order. Now I can combine the fractions. So it's 2 minus 4f all over fg. None of the terms can be simplified any further, so I can just stop there. Okay, in this example, we have to still make the denominators the same. The lowest common multiple of 3 and 2 is 6. How do I make 3 into 6? I times it by 2, so I've got to do the same to the numerator. And how do I make 2 into 6? Well, I times that by 3, and I've got to do the same to the numerator there. So x plus 4 times by 2 can be rewritten as 2 brackets x plus 4 over 3 times 2 is 6. And then I'm going to add 3 times by x plus 1, so 3 brackets x plus 1 over 2 times 3, which is 6. Now that the denominators are the same, I can add the numerators, so 2 brackets x plus 4 plus 3 brackets x plus 1 all over 6. The numerator can be expanded, so if I do 2 times x, 2 times 4, becomes 2x plus 8, and then I'm going to add 3 times x, 3 times 1, so plus 3x plus 3, all over 6, 2x plus 8 plus 3x plus 3. I'm just going to gather the like terms. 2x plus 3x is 5x, 8 plus 3 is 11, all over 6. Okay, in this question, you might notice that the denominators has algebra. So when you get a question like this, what you have to do is just multiply the denominators together. And so the x plus 5 is going to be multiplied by the x minus 1. But whatever I do to the denominator, I must do to the numerator as well. And likewise, you are going to multiply the x minus 1 by x plus 5. And again, whatever I do to the denominator, I must do to the numerator. Now I'm just going to rewrite this as 4 brackets x minus 1 over x plus 5 x minus 1. You can skip this step, but just for now I'm showing you how to do it. So 2 brackets x plus 5 over x minus 1 plus 5. So you can skip to this very next step, and that is combine the numerators and write it over the common denominator. So 4x minus 1 minus 2 brackets x plus 5 all over x plus 5 x minus 1. Now you want to expand and simplify the numerator. So the first one, we're going to have 4 times x, 4 times negative 1. So that's 4x minus 4. And then I'm going to have negative 2 times by x, which is negative 2x. And then negative 2 times by 5, which is negative 10. And then that's going to be over x plus 5, x minus 1. So I'm just going to copy that. Obviously, you guys don't have that luxury, but make sure you write it. And then I'm going to gather the like terms of the numerator. So 4x minus 2x is 2x. And then negative 4 minus 10 is minus 14. And then we've still got the x plus 5, x minus 1. Word of advice, you do not need to expand brackets when they've got algebraic terms. So in this case, the denominator, just leave it as x plus 5, x minus 1. Okay, and just as good practice, you want to double check that you can't simplify this fraction any further. So you're going to factorize out the numerator. So I can take out a 2 from both terms. So it's going to be 2 brackets x minus 7 over the denominator, so which is going to remain as x plus 5 x minus 1. Now, there's nothing I can cancel out there, so I'll just stop there. We've got another type of question where they are giving us x equals c over 3, y equals ac over 4, z is equal to a squared over 2c plus 1. And they want us to find expressions for x squared. So x squared simply means x times x, or in other words, c over 3 times by c over 3, which is c squared over 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay. The next one, x plus y. So this time they're asking us to add c over 3, which is x, and y, which is ac over 4. We have to apply the addition laws, which means that we have to have a common denominator. So in order to get a common denominator, we are going to make 3 multiplied by 4, which is 12. So 3 times by 4 will give us 12. So we have to do that to the numerator here. And to make 4 into 12, we have to times that by 3. So we have to do that to the numerator there. So if we tidy this up a bit, c times by 4 is 4c over 3 times by 4, which is 12, plus 3 times AC, which is 3AC, over 4 times 3, which is 12. Now we can add the numerators, 4C plus 3AC over 12, and we can't simplify that any further, so we just stop there. If we look at the next question, so x times y over z, this is asking us to do x times y first, and then we're going to divide that by z. You could do x divided by z times by y, but I'm just going to follow the order that they've given it in. So x times by y in this case is going to be, so xy is going to equal c over 3 times by ac over 4. So just like with multiplication of fractions, we're just doing the numerator times numerator over the denominator times the denominator. So this is going to be c times ac, which is ac squared, over 3 times by 4. Let me just write this step down. So c times by ac over 3 times by 4. So the numerator was ac squared, so 3 times by 4 is 12. So we've got ac squared over 12. This is our fraction for xy. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take xy and we're going to divide it by z. So xy, oops, I haven't got the right color. xy divided by z. So xy is ac squared over 12. We are going to divide it by z, which is a squared over 2c plus 1. Now, as with normal fractions, if you are dividing by a fraction, you are going to use keep, change, flip. So we are going to keep the first fraction the same. So that's going to remain as, I'm just going to do it up here because I've got a bit of space, ac squared over 12. You are going to change the division into a times, so it's going to be times, and then we are going to flip a squared over 2c plus 1. So that's simply going to be 2c plus 1 over a squared. Now, I'm going to tidy this up. And you're going to multiply the numerators and divide that by the denominators multiplied together. So I'm going to do ac squared times by 2c plus 1 over 12 times a squared, which is just 12a squared. At this point, you can just double check if there's anything common in the numerator or denominator. I can see there's an a in common, so I'm just simply going to cross off one of them a's for one of the a's at the bottom, so I can get rid of that squared. And I'm left with c squared 2c plus 1 over 12a. Thank you for watching. This has been Mr Miah at R Squared Tuition. Don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below any questions or topics that you would like me to cover.